Hi friends, if you missed our Zoom call today, don't worry, all of the information is right here. Today we're going to be reading Giraffes Can't Dance and making our own giraffe.
Giraffes can't dance. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now every year in Africa they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. The warthogs started waltzing and the rhinos rocked and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked towards the floor, but the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald!" the animals all sneered. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird." Gerald simply froze up. He stood rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." So he crept up from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. Then he found a little clearing and looked up at the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald early on, "but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song." Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing round. He threw his legs out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Gerald felt so wonderful, his mouth was open wide. "I'm dancing! Yes, I'm dancing! I'm dancing!" Gerald cried. Then one by one each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen." "How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. "We can all dance," he said, "when we find the music that we love." We're going to be making Gerald a giraffe just by tracing our arm and our hand. Here are the materials: paper, black marker, pencil. I'm using orange and yellow dot markers, but if you don't have these, you can use crayons, markers, whatever you have around the house. Now, we're going to take our pencil first, and we're going to trace our hand. But I'm going to tuck my thumb first, and then use my 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers for the ears and the horns. All right, I'm going to lay my hand down really flat. I'm going to use a marker so you can see really well. I would suggest using your pencil first. So I'm going to lay my hand down, trace my whole arm, trace largely around my pinky for the ear, really close to the middle fingers for my horns, and again largely around my pointer finger for the ears. And there I have it. I'm going to show you again. Tuck your fingers, put your hand down, then trace your arm, a little larger for the ears on my pinky, really close to the 2 middle fingers, and large for the next ear. There's my giraffe. I'm going to color in the tops of the horns kind of black because they're dark. Use a curved line inside the ear, and then put a little N at the bottom to look kind of like hair sprouts. Then I'm going to make the eyes. 1 oval and a dot, and then another oval and a dot. You can use googly eyes if you have them. For the nose, I'm making a little tiny dash and bringing that down and making a big old smile. And there we have him, Gerald the giraffe. Now let's add some color. I'm gonna take my orange first and just start dotting inside my giraffe. Lots of different dots, trying to create those spots. Now I'm gonna speed it up and add the rest of my orange and my yellow. There I have him, Gerald the giraffe. I'm gonna show you real quick what I did with my crayons. I outlined my hand again and created my giraffe. Then I added large, organic shapes with my orange marker. I colored around my orange spots with yellow, and then I wanted to add a background, adding branches and leaves because that's what giraffes like to eat. And then I colored it in with a nice blue sky. And there I have it, Gerald the giraffe.
I hope you had fun making your giraffe. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!